football, other football stuff, as other teams been doing, their off-season moves, were a couple of coaching hiring, a couple of retires. So let's talk about that right now. We pull it up. So we got Mike McCarthy. So Mike McCarthy is pretty much not getting a head coaching job at all. It sounds like he's gonna be taking the entire season off and wait for the 2026 head coach cycle. If anything's open, which I think there will, because some of these coaches are still in their contract and they haven't really done nothing. So I think someone will hire Mike McCarthy. He's a really good coach. I'm just shocked that nobody has hired him. It's very interesting. But we'll see. I thought the Saints were gonna hire him because he had, I think he started a career in coaching in the Saints. I forgot which position, but I was shocked they're not gonna hire him. It sounds like the Saints may actually hire, what's his name? Let me check him. What's his name? Kellen Moore. So Kellen Moore, the guys may or may not know, Kellen Moore was he played in the NFL a little bit. I think like rarely, nothing. But in college, he was very, very well known at Boise State. He got them, I think, in conference championships and bowl games. Really, really good quarterback. I think he's one of the best Boise State quarterbacks of all time. What I remember playing NCAA football, and I remember seeing him in the cover, and I started watching his highlights. He was good. But it sounds like the Saints may hire Kellen Moore. He was a coordinator for the Cowboys at one point, I remember, and then recently with the Eagles. So it sounds like the Saints may hire Kellen Moore as their next head coach. How do I feel about this? I think it's not bad. I mean, he does have a lot of experience under his belt. It's not like he's completely new into like coaching. But this is his first time as a head coach, so we just gotta wait and see. I'm not really 100% sure if this is a correct move, but I feel like it's not that bad a move. In my opinion, I would have hired Mike McCarthy, but I think the Saints don't feel like they're a playoff team right now, which I think they are. They just need a better coach because they started out really good in the beginning of the season, but just gotta wait and see if maybe Kellen Moore can bring the Saints to the playoffs. Now, any other move that happened? Uh, hmm. What other option? Let's see. Ben Johnson introduced as the head coach for the Bears. Good press conference of that. Um, Nothing really big about that press conference. He just told Caleb Williams we're gonna work together. This and that. Pretty basic press conference for the Bears of Ben Johnson. Now, as for the Jets press conference of their new head coach, Glenn, um, as a Jets fan, I feel like this is really, really different. Now, you can say, oh, it's the same head coach because, they hired defensive coordinator like Robert Saleh, and he said the similar same thing. No. What Robert Saleh did was all gas, no brakes, but it sounded like he had no, like, vocals in his voice. He didn't. Now, Aaron Glenn, he had the confidence, the New York swagger. He had that, I'm not messing around with you type of swag. And he literally was saying, we're the F in Jets, or I think he said SH. Uh, as you know, he's close to some verbal curse words in it, but you can tell he's not playing around. Even when he talked to the media right after the press conference, he said, "Why are you asking me that question?" Like, he knows how the New York media is. And the thing about him is that, like I said in the last podcast, is that he's a former New York Jet. He played with the New York Jet from 1992 to 2000, or 1994 to 2001, something like that. I know from the 90s, mid 90s to the early 2000s. He played for the Jets. He was drafted first round, 12th overall by the team. He was their best corner. Um, Sadly, they had that expansion draft that kind of ruined it for them to keep him. But he saw the ups and downs as a player. He talks to Bill Parcells every day, since he retired and all, and he just even the last time the Jets had an opening before they hired Robert Saleh, he wanted that job, but he knew that he needed a little bit more experience, more under his belt. And after the last couple of seasons with the Lions, he showed the Jets, hey, I want to take it. And he's the type of coach that you don't really see say that I really want to take this job. I would really want to come here. Out of the 5 teams, I really want to come here. You don't ever see coaches who say that. And he's honestly a really good hire. Now, you can say this right now and be like, well, we don't know how he's going to be when the season starts. He might be bad. Yes, I agree. I agree. Um, but something about him is different. It's different. He even said, this is not all about Aaron Rodgers. This is about the New York Jets. We're going to put the right players on the field and get the job done, pretty much. That's simple. Like, he seems like that's why a lot of players, like, I don't know him. I never met him. But from what I'm seeing, what I hear from him, and it just seems like he's such a genuine person. Like, he's such a person who actually loves football, who loves his players, who wants his players to do well. And he's just a really good human being. Like, maybe behind the scenes not, but I could just tell, like, he's a really good human being, and he really loves the game and wants to improve this Jets franchise on a whole new level and stay consistent, like he said. But I'm really excited. I'm really pumped. Now, for the GM that they hired, his name is Aaron too, I think. I'm not sure what his name was, but I don't know a whole lot about him. I don't know. I heard he's pretty good. He's the one that helped the Broncos, get back on their feet. Stayed with the Broncos since 2012, right? Like, right after they won the Super Bowl. They stayed with him for the whole career of him being the assistant manager. He moved up the rankings. And I'm not sure about him yet. He seems like a very chill, humble, will listen to everyone's opinion type of guy. Very professional, only 39 years old. He's 10 years older than me. I'm 28, or 11. But he seems very professional for his age. Seems like he really wants to, help this organization. We'll just wait and see. But he seems like a pretty good hire. We just gotta wait and see. Now, for the Jets coaching tree, behind Aaron Glenn, I'm not really sure who they're gonna hire. It sounds like they're gonna hire some experienced, some non-experienced coaches. We just gotta wait and see for that. Now, Aaron Rodgers, are the Jets going to bring back Aaron Rodgers? I am not completely sure about that. It sounds like it's up in the air right now, but it sounds like Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Glenn want each other, which is awesome. I do think that the Jets should bring him back. As much as Aaron Glenn wants to start his head coaching in a different direction, but I think he wants him back. I do think that bringing Aaron Rodgers is going to help him start off really good. Because there's other quarterbacks in free agencies in the draft, but they're not that appealing. You don't want to spend too much money. You have to pay other players that are more valuable on your team right now. So I think they should keep him for the time being and see how things go on. But we just gotta wait and see. Now, as for other press conferences, Pete Carroll, sounds like Pete Carroll is very chill. I mean, some of these press conferences aren't really like talked about, like how the Jets was with Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn, um, it's just it's just something you have to talk about. You know what I mean? But as for the other, let me pull it up. So as for the other football news, some players are thinking about leaning to retire. So cornerback Stephon Gilmore is leaning toward retirement. We have to see for that. Khalil Mack was leaning towards that, but now he's coming back for this season. I didn't even realize Khalil Mack is like old. I feel like he was been in the league for 6 years, but I think it's been like more like 10. As for other coaches, there were a few hires here and there for coordinator jobs from different organizations. Don't really have to talk about that. It's not that important. I pretty much talked about the more important stuff, what's going on in the NFL. But let me see. Yeah, there's nothing else for the NFL. Oh, so when the NFC Championship game was over, there was a fan who fell 40 feet from a pole celebrating the team's Super Bowl berth. Unfortunately, he passed away. He was in a coma. Um, Now, how do I feel about this? I get it. You celebrate. You love your team. Trust me, the Jets won. I think I will go all out, but not like that. Not like that. Um, 40 feet from the air. At least do a few feet. You can just pull a hammy or something. But 40 feet in the air, they should have at least put some like slippery stuff on the pole. But I feel like the people who do that, they shouldn't be doing that. Like like they say, do blank stuff, win blank prizes. I'm not gonna say it, but as you know, um, they shouldn't be doing that. I would not do that, and I'm like, I wanna be be rude, but like, come on, man, come on, grow up. You know, don't do that. Like, don't do that stuff. Do something that's like minor, like stand on top of a car. Do that. Don't go on a pole and 40 feet in the air. That's crazy. But um, RIP to the guy. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do about that? But yeah, that's it for the NFL. Off season is gonna come right after the Super Bowl. Super Bowl taking place in Louisiana. So let me know in the comments, guys. Are you gonna watch this or what? I might not, to be honest. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I might have to because I'm doing it for the podcast. So I might have to.